Hi, it's Kim here, and I want to do a quick video on why negative emotions are a positive thing. And that may sound like a paradox, but I've just been walking through this beautiful park. And let me just show you a little bit. There's the lake in the background there, if you can see that through the trees. And so I'm walking through the beautiful park in Queenstown, and I moved here just over a year ago. And the fact is, one of the reasons that I'm here is because I had a lot of negative emotions that were actually telling me that I wasn't happy where I was and that I needed to move. So one of the things that people don't realize is that emotions are a form of communication. We have what we call a head intelligence, which is the brain in our head, and we have a body intelligence, which is below the neck. And our intelligence in our body doesn't speak to us in words or thoughts. It speaks through felt sense sensations. And these sensations can be things like gut feelings, or a sense of tension or relaxation, or it could be stress, which is actually the tension, or it could be emotions, and those emotions could be positive, such as happiness and peace and love, these sort of positive emotions, or it could be negative emotions like fear, loneliness, boredom, frustration, sadness, grief. So we have a lot of different emotions that are generated inside our body, and an emotion is just a felt sensation that we have given a label. We've called it sadness or frustration or fear because different emotions have different feelings. They feel different, and they're also located sometimes in different parts of our body. For example, anger is very much to do with the liver, and when we feel angry or frustrated, then our liver will contract and constrict, and that area of our body will go tense. So emotions, or negative emotions, have a very positive purpose. They're not random, they're not bad. Negative emotions are not bad, and we're not bad for having negative emotions, although a lot of people think that. They're just a form of feedback and a form of communication from the body to the head, and it's our job to interpret the meaning within the communication, within the emotion. So for example, when I was up in Auckland and I was living in this little house, which was a beautiful house, but it was a very small house. Let's say it was a granny flat really, but it was its own little house, and it was absolutely beautiful, and I loved where I was living. But my body started to send me loneliness because the house was too small to live in. It was too small to have a flatmate, and also I just wasn't happy in Auckland, and I had a big desire to come to Queenstown, which I'd had for many years. I'd been thinking and dreaming of coming here for 17 years, but the timing just wasn't right. And then the loneliness started to get stronger and stronger, and to the point that I even started to feel physically sick. I could feel a toxicity building up inside of me as a result of the loneliness. And this is very common, that when we have ongoing negative emotions constantly being generated inside of us, that changes our cellular physiology, it changes our body chemistry. And so literally, we can have good secretions in our body and not so good secretions. And I could feel the toxicity building up inside of me from the loneliness, which was getting very extreme. And then that, of course, was starting to turn into a sort of depression. Not a full depression, but it definitely was going that way. And so that was my body, my soul, telling me, this isn't right for you. I'm sending you this feedback because I'm not happy, you're not happy. This is not what you're meant to be doing with your life, and whoever needs you to make a change. And so finally I listened, because I couldn't tolerate the level of loneliness and sadness, with sadness sort of goes with loneliness, anymore. And even though it took great courage to move to Queenstown by myself, I did it. And then today, here I am walking through this beautiful park, really appreciating being here and realizing yet again how my negative emotions have been really helpful, and they've been on my side. And fortunately, I did listen to them and I did take action, because this is one of the things that we have to do when our body is sending us emotions, that it's usually asking us to take some action, what I call constructive action. And I did, finally. So I just wanted to share that. I did mention this in the webinar that I did yesterday, the introductory webinar on Manage My Emotions, which you can watch. You just sign up on the homepage of emotionalalchemyacademy.com, and it will take you immediately to the replay of that training, where I take you through a guided exercise to explore your emotional awareness and your emotional literacy. And then, if you find that you're interested in diving deeper and learning how to understand a certain number of emotions, specifically fear, anger, hurt, loneliness, and I think the fifth one is disappointment, I can't remember. It will say it on the page. But if you're interested in exploring how to clear and get rid of these negative emotions quickly, easily, and efficiently, then I'm running a training mid-November to end of December, 5 weeks. Very simple, efficient training in how to master these negative emotions. So I invite you to join me if you're ready to, or keen to, work on this part of yourself, and look forward to seeing you in another video or another training.